Heavyweight Kickboxing Champion. Comical, fantastic musician. I've been listening to his stuff on SoundCloud. Check him out, Comikal. Fantastic stuff, really interesting music, and a fantastic fighter as well. The dude's been around the block a few times, and I love watching him work. He's coming off a really close, tough fight with Tim Dunn, who's also a savage. They fought to a draw, but we see him back in boxing, and this is a fight he's wanted for a while. He was supposed to fight Karshner about a year ago. Karshner ended up having to pull out due to injury, so this is the moment. It's finally happening. Richwine feels like he's got the skills to take Karshner out. He feels like he's the more technical man tonight, and Karshner feels like he's got the power to put Richwine away.
It's going to be one of those things where, you know, if Karshner's able to go further into the fight, not get hurt early, he could really tire Richwine out and make him feel his own power.
And we see Richwine here. He's always so calm before a fight. This guy's got such fluid hand speed. He's very technical. He's a beautiful man, handsome as he can be.
From the mean streets of Ohio, Jeramy Karshner, a killer in the ring, a true warrior, knocked out 7 fighters. Ain't nobody bolder.
And this is a man who's been on a hell of a journey in the sport. Started his career 0-6. Now he's climbed to 6-6. This is a huge moment for him to become 7-6. It's a big moment in his life to rewrite the wrongs of the early stages of his career. I talk about redemption a lot, but this is a redemption story for Mr. Karshner. I think he's already done it. I think it's already incredible, the journey he's been on, but this is the most skilled opponent he's faced.
Truly inspirational story for Karshner from beginning to end. From that first time I saw him fight, I can't remember the gentleman's name that he fought, but I was very impressed with him from the beginning. And then on through the Alex Davis fights, both of them.
And these are two of the most likable guys on our roster as well. It's very interesting. Karshner, straight up, just tough guy. Never makes any excuses. He's just one of those guys you admire. And so is Richwine. Richwine's a military veteran. He's seen combat, and he's got so many interesting stories. He used to train out on the West Coast for a long time. Put a lot of work in with a lot of tough guys, and you see it with his experience. The dude's an incredible striker.
I like that red digital camo he's got on his socks.
And he gave me a wink there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the main event. This is a super fight, champion versus champion. The new Line Super Heavyweight Kickboxing Champ has come to boxing to box our boxing champion. Fighting out of the blue corner, this is the new Line Super Heavyweight Kickboxing Champ. He's on a 3-5 winning streak. Justin Comical Richwine. Fighting out of the red corner, he's on a 7-fight winning streak. The new Line Heavyweight Boxing Champion, Jeramy Karshner.
Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times.
That's like a pretty significant weight difference here. I don't know what these boys tip the scales at, but
Karshner carries a lot of muscle mass, though. He's a thick guy.
He does.
When you interview him, it feels like he's made out of wood.
yeah, I can tell you that's what it feels like when you try to grab wrist control.
Yeah, you've
on him.
grappled him, you know. And I expect Richwine to be the quicker man and the more dynamic striker. But Karshner carries massive power, and he's technical himself. Nice left hook. Richwine just shook that right hand.
Yeah, I wonder. It looked like he might have hit him on the forehead with it in one of the early exchanges. He did it again.
He's shaking it again.
He landed a nice left hook in that exchange, but good right hand to the body by Karshner.
But, you know, I've noticed Richwine doing that before. He did it in the Alex Davis fight, and I thought his hand was hurt, and it wasn't. So it may not be anything. We'll just have to see how he uses it throughout the fight.
Karshner's throwing some heat.
Richwine blocks those and backs out of the way. And this is a 6-round fight, ladies and gentlemen. So interested to see who has the better cardio here.
Now, Karshner's gas tanks seem to be carrying well in that last fight with Alex.
And he went 6 hard rounds with Alex Davis. But I do believe that Richwine can draw him into a faster pace, and he already is.
He's not quite so content to play off the back foot as Alex was.
Well, I just don't think Alex had the skill to make Karshner work like Richwine can.
And it's a much bigger frame to be able to absorb some of that power from Karshner if he can.
Beautiful. Just slides out of the way. Richwine has excellent footwork. His feet are always in the right place.
His head movement's very impressive, too. Still very much in just a feeling out process.
Just the way
there.
he moves, period, for a guy his size is very impressive.
Trade jab to the body.
Richwine is a
Karshner.
deceptively technical and crafty fighter. Good left hook, though, landed by Karshner. He went to the body, then the head.
Got a little chatting back and forth in there.
A little off balance there.
More just like almost like a clubbing collar tie on the left hook there. Left hook right straight to the body.
And I'd love to see Richwine work the body in these early rounds. Try to wear on the gas tank of Karshner, which is what Karshner was known for. In his early going, those losses that he took were to really tough guys, and he said he had a tendency to start fast and gas. But I think he's definitely a different man than he was then.
I agree.
Different fighter.
You see a lot more polish in him.
And he's more methodical. He's smarter. He's not going out there putting on a pace he can't sustain, hunting for that finish every time.
He has confidence his power, the finish will find itself if he just keeps his feet moving and keeps putting leather on people's faces.
How do you score that first round?
Very, very tight, but I think Karshner led the dance just a bit more. I would say that some of those right hands to the body.
I think Richwine's jab was on point throughout that round, though.
That is true. I could see an argument either way. Honestly, if I were to score that personally, I'd probably
love
go
to see
10-10.
some numbers on that.
Yeah.
Like CompuBox, see how many strikes were landed. We're not quite there yet with our technology, though.
We're going to get Keith like a pitch counter for each hand.
And they touch gloves. They're talking a little bit in there still. Jab to the body by Richwine to open the start of the second round. And Karshner just absolutely unloads on him.
Yeah, Richwine kind of started that exchange out with his commitment in, but as soon as he committed in, Karshner made him pay for it.
Karshner looks like he's sitting back trying to counter now. Big right hand to the body by Karshner.
Oftentimes, if you're the more powerful.
And I think he's thinking about following that right hand to the body up with a big left hook.
Yeah. Well, we saw him use that a lot against Alex Davis in that last fight.
Richwine's defensively really sound, though. Oh, that one got through, though.
Almost like he looked down to the body and
that one blasted him as well. Big right hand by Jeramy Karshner. And another gets through.
Good stiff jab by Karshner there.
Karshner's looking very sharp.
I'm very impressed with his ability to hang with him on the outside here. I thought he might have to get inside and make it a dirty fight, but he's doing just fine here on the outside.
He's so explosive. Every time that Richwine gets inside, Karshner just explodes with a 3 or 4 punch combination.
And with somebody who can generate as much power as that, it really makes you question whether you want to step in
You
and make
can't stand in front of him. He's a guy you don't want to just stand in front of because you don't want to eat those shots.
There's a fair amount of talking back and forth going on in this fight. I'd like to hear what they're saying.
But you see Richwine is standing right in front of him, walking him down, looking for his shot. And there's a nice jab, long jab by Richwine.
I think strategically that's smart from Karshner. I think that's better than him trying to hunt down somebody with good footwork and good head movement like Richwine. Bring him to you.
And you see Karshner's had a lot more clear-cut round.
Oh, that was a
That
good.
was a nice left.
Yeah, that was a good left hook at the end of that.
So far, Richwine's unfazed. But he looked like he took a big, deep breath there and put his hands down for a moment.
Yeah, I think it's more about a frustration than anything else. I think he
He's trying to lure him in.
yeah. I think he was hoping to be able to work behind his jab a little bit more, but
Something's wrong with that right hand.
he's still throwing it with bad intentions, though.
He says something else. These guys are throwing bombs.
No, that round, I think,
Look,
pretty
he's still
clearly
shaking
Karshner.
it.
I
He's shaking
agree.
it as he goes to the corner. I'm not convinced that there's nothing wrong with his right hand.
Yeah, he was shaking it early on, almost after the first one he landed. And I could be wrong, but I believe I've seen him do that before with that right hand.
Well, a lot of fighters have nervous ticks. No, I don't want to say nervous ticks, but they have ticks
Yeah.
like that, right? Like Josh Koscheck messing with his shorts and that kind of stuff. Or Dustin Poirier, I guess, is the modern example of the adjustment.
Just
of shorts.
subconscious things
Yeah.
they do. So I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I can't imagine he'd be leaning on it, posted on it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He
you could
doesn't
be
act
right.
like he's
It's
it's
just one of
bothering
those-
him at all in between rounds. He's not saying
Right.
anything about it. They're not looking at it. I think we might possibly see Karshner up 2 rounds to none, but that first round was close.
Yeah. First round is definitely a toss-up. I think it might have even been a 10-10.
I would agree with that. I'd be happy with a draw in that first round.
Boxing judges generally a little more,
Likely to give a draw.
give it 10-10. MMA, unfortunately, you never see
I
it.
think
even.
you should see more draws in MMA.
I agree. The fact that just everything is a 10-9 basically no matter what, unless
There
there's
are
a
fights
knockdown.
where neither guy deserves to lose. There are fights you see that are like that. This is a hell of a fight so far, and it's such a technical scrap.
Yeah, this is a smooth technical boxing match. Which,
Karshner is
man.
he's looking so fluid with his hands.
if you would have told me it would be just a very smooth, all fought on the outside technical boxing match, I would have thought that might favor Ridgewine. But
I agree.
That's not what's unfolding in front of us. I'm very impressed by Jeremy.
Jeremy looks just as quick as well.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more explosive. But we'll see if he can carry that into the later rounds. Because he's throwing a lot of heat. He's throwing a lot more heat than he threw at Alex Davis in that second fight. That fight almost reminded you of a sparring match. This one, is they're throwing heavy leather. Richwine is talking to him the whole fight. And I would love to know what they're saying. We need a mic on those guys. Karshner looked mad that he couldn't throw that right hand.
Karshner's sliding that left hook around and kind of pulling the glove away
I
from
think
the face.
Richwine might be trying to get in his head.
I'm curious to see if he'll really start to pick up the pace these last 3 rounds.
Well, that's what he did to Davis. If you look back at Richwine's fight with Alex Davis, he almost coasted the first couple and then turned it up. And this is a 6-round fight. And, that was something he talked about in the interview I had with him. Richwine's like, the clock's your friend. You can use that to your advantage.
I mean, as a general rule, I always tell my guys, longer fights favor whoever's better at fighting. So I'm a fan of more rounds.
Oh, nice right hand by Richwine there.
Karshner tried to answer it back with a jab over the top.
Karshner's slowing down a little bit. He didn't throw with nearly as much volume as he threw in that second round. In that second round, he was putting together 3 and 4 punches every time Richwine got close. Both guys are looking winded, though. Look at both corners. Both got their hands up now. This is a fun one. And this is when it gets fun.
They're finally going to
when we start getting into these deep waters. Rounds 4, 5, and 6. This is where champions are made. Deep water, folks.
And we've got 2 champions in the ring, too. I mean, that's a...
Neither guy breathing too hard, though.
Karshner talking some shit now, it looks like.
There's a lot of gamesmanship in this fight. Nice straight to the body there lands by Justin Richwine. He's fainting a lot in this round.
Yeah, I think he's starting to pick up the pace a little bit here. I think this is where he thinks he's going to do his work. Although he is taking slightly deeper breaths than he was in previous rounds. Good, hard right hand.
That was a nice combination from Jeramy Karshner.
I think the majority of that went into the gloves, but still.
You saw the sweat fly off Richwine's head.
Yeah.
The impact of those. And there's Richwine lands an overhand right, tries to follow it up with the left hook, but Karshner blocks it. Richwine's defensively so sound. His hands are always up when they need to be.
Yeah, outside of those couple of really clean right hands that Karshner got through in the second round, his defense has been on point.
Karshner reached a little bit on that one. Nice jab from Richwine. Oh, big right hand by Richwine. And I think Karshner landed in the middle of that as well. You can feel the momentum shifting a bit in Richwine's favor, though. Karshner just took a big, deep breath.
Yeah, he did.
Nice right hand by Richwine. And another.
Combo from Karshner there. I couldn't really tell how well it landed because of the angle. Good left hook on the inside by Karshner there, but
Richwine landed his own left hook as well.
Good exchange.
These guys are trading.
Pace is really starting to pick up from both of them now.
Jab left hook by Richwine. Nice right hand, or left hand by Karshner. Left hook over the top of that right hand, which Richwine was carrying a little low.
Looked over to say something to the corner.
How do you score that round?
Man, that's a tough one. I would.
I think Richwine outlanded him, but Karshner, when he did land, he landed the bigger shots.
When he lands, he's landing bigger shots. And even some of the shots that Richwine is blocking, he's taking damage.
Boxing rules, though, he outlanded him. So you would think that goes for Richwine. This is such a hard...
Look at the most attractive ring girl we've ever had here at New Line.
Alex the Rhino Davis.
I paid just to see that, and I didn't even pay.
Man, I'll be honest.
I thought Alex may have won. I thought that should have been a draw. I really did.
I would agree with that, actually. But that means now, I mean, we're deep in territory of like, this is kind of, I don't know that I'd be shocked with any decision.
Dude, you have the fastest hands being the heavyweight.
That right body kick went straight right hand through. I was like, that looked like a welterweight.
He's just a bad guy to end up underneath.
We got a crazy little position there, lost that scramble.
That was a fun fight, dude.
I'll be back. It was. He's got a granite chin.
Oh yeah, you were blasting him.
Oh
my
man,
God!
Good
Blistering
exchange
combination.
Good working behind the jab there from Karshner.
Stephen McBride stopped to say goodbye. Hell of a fight from him as well. Him and Garrettson went to war.
I was very impressed by both of them. Good movement there by Karshner.
This is such a technical battle and so back and forth. I do not envy the judges in this fight.
And to be honest, I know that Karshner was trying to fight a very technical fight the last time. I think this, he's got a much more technical opponent. It's drawing a more technical performance out of him.
It truly is. His hands have never looked better. His combination punching has never looked smoother.
His ring composure, like, look at that. Just the way he just moved a quarter of an inch out of the way.
Oh, good right hand from Richwine there.
Yeah. Karshner immediately circles off.
Richwine's walking him down right now. Oh, big body shot from Richwine. He put some power in that. Put some stank on it.
He seems to be looking for that whenever Karshner really starts playing in that shell.
Oh, that was a big left hook from Karshner. Richwine just stays right in front of him. Keeps walking forward.
Oh, that's
big,
a hard
huge two to the body by Karshner.
Good jab from Karshner there as well. Richwine landed one in there.
Karshner has such an old school style. He reminds you of a fighter of old.
He's really taken control in this round, I do believe.
Yeah, that Philly shell's working for him really well.
He does it. That's where that looping left hook comes out of, is out of that Philly shell. Same with that two to the body.
He doesn't look like he's fading at all.
No.
Looks almost like he's got a second wind. Nice right hand from Richwine, but Karshner lands as well. Richwine lands in the middle of that as well. He's making Karshner work really hard. There's 14 seconds left.
Now, he landed a nice jab there, and Karshner landed a nice left hook at the same time. They've had that exchange a bunch of times. Karshner's making him pay for every time that he actually commits to a jab. Now, that round, I think, was Karshner's.
Both men have had to dig real deep in this fight. Neither one's given any ground. What a performance. I think this is the best Jeramy Karshner we've ever seen. It might be the best Richwine we've ever seen as well.
I haven't gotten to see too many of Richwine's fights, but this is definitely the most technical performance I've seen out of Karshner. And there's something, too, whenever you've got the most difficult fight that you've had, and it brings out the best performance in you. I think that says a lot about.
It shows what you're made of.
Yeah, I think that says a lot about Karshner as a fighter.
This was the biggest test he's faced in this streak that he's had, and I believe he's winning this fight. It's close.
Now, if Richwine wants to put a claim in to have won this fight, this is the round he needs to do it in.
If he could get a knockdown here or do something significant, it would change everything.
I think that's what he needs, and I think he knows that's what he needs. We see the change in his footwork here.
Yeah, we see a sense of urgency now from Justin Richwine.
Karshner changes levels and just drives his head into his chest, drives the big man back. I don't know what the weight difference is, but whenever they're in tight, it doesn't look like there's any kind of power differential. Oh, good left hook in tight from Karshner. Corner of Richwine calling for him to keep a high work rate.
Big left hand from Karshner.
Yeah, Karshner switched into southpaw and landed that hard left hand. Just to the body again. Man, sometimes Karshner throws so hard it looks like he almost throws himself off balance at the end of combination.
It's almost like that Dempsey style. You fall into your punches.
Yeah.
Oh, big clobbering right hand from Justin Richwine.
And it backs Karshner up.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, caught him right behind the ear.
Good jabs from southpaw by Karshner. Interesting look to him to switch to southpaw in this last round, and he's moving a lot more. This is the most movement we've seen out of Karshner.
I think Karshner knows he's got to be real smart here if he wants to win this decision. Because it's so close. Oh. You can't let Richwine have a big moment.
Bullying him around in the clinch here.
Karshner smiles there.
Good flurry from both men.
30 seconds.
And he switches stance mid-punch.
Richwine landed his best punch of the fight a few exchanges ago, but then Karshner answered right back, and again with that hard right hand.
Oh, man. Richwine's calling for him to come forward and go to war.
Oh. Man, not much.
Last 20 seconds.
Karshner's trying to put a stamp on this.
Here we go.
Staying right at the end of his punches.
Nice left hook from Richwine to end it. That was a hell of a fight from both men.
Jerry, good job. Much improved. Good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds, our judges have come to a decision. Judge 1 has it 60-54, Judge 2 60-54, and Judge 3 59-55. All for your winner out of the red corner, Jeramy Karshner.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Jeramy Karshner. My friend, this is a huge moment for you. You're on an 8-fight winning streak, and that's the highest caliber opponent you've faced, and I don't think you've ever looked better. Talk us through it.
Man, first off, Justin Richwine, I give you all the credit in the world. You made me go get better. You didn't let me slack coming into this. Not because of any trash that he said, but because of his ability. I went out and I worked so hard for this. I put in 25 rounds of sparring, and I can't thank Brandon Conley's group, Ryan DeLeon, Carrie Page, Jessica, everybody that was there. Alfred Leisure, 145-pound man, come and bang with me 5 days a week. Can't get no better than that.
So tell me, you've been on such an incredible and inspiring journey. What's next for you?
I'll be honest, as of right now, in boxing, there's nothing left in the regional area for me. I called out a mega fight, it didn't happen. Justin Richwine was another big fight. He stepped in and put it in. To me, there's nothing else to prove here. I'm waiting for my big call, and I hope it comes soon. And on top of that, I'm gonna do a kickboxing or MMA fight, and it's time to wrap it up here soon.
Yeah, we've got you signed up for our heavyweight kickboxing Grand Prix. And we've got Mr. Richwine in there as well. It would be quite a show to see you guys run into each other again.
Yeah, I hope it's maybe like 3 or 4 fights in. Let's let me have a break. But, you know, whoever they call me for, we'll go fight. I've never really dumped anybody. Probably why I put myself in a bad spot. But it's alright, I'm game now.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for an incredible